morning, it's Monday. Welcome back to another behind the scenes. Can you believe it? We made it to week 3. So it is 7 o'clock in the morning. I already organised my planner for this week. I did that last night while I was sat all cozy by the fire. On that note, I wanted to let you know that's kind of a rough guide to my week, just so that I can kind of keep on top of what's going on, etc. It doesn't always go to plan. Things come in that I have to action immediately, but you know, it's just a rough guide. I don't want you guys thinking I'm some sort of complete crazy person that has to stick to exactly where those post-its are on that schedule. I'm a visual person. I like to have it all mapped out, you know, so I can see what's going on. It's 9 o'clock. I am armed with my cup of tea and my breakfast smoothie. We ran out of melon. I carried a watermelon. So today's is banana and yogurt. We are ready to go on, it's episode 8 of series 2, and this is Mima. We've been going uphill for like 2 hours. When you need a walking stick, it's a serious hike. Right, so first of all, I edit in a program called Final Cut Pro X. I do also have the Adobe package. I have Premiere, but I like Final Cut. It's simple, it's very easy to use. I mean, when I say it's simple, if you've never edited before, you might look at it and think, what? For each episode, I follow the same steps in the same process. And it begins with the most lengthy one, which is going through all the footage and pulling out everything that I think is usable, watchable, entertaining. I'd then pull it out of the main kind of gallery section and drop it into my timeline. That then forms the basis of the episode. For one episode, it can often be up to about 3 hours of usable footage, and I obviously do not use a good chunk of it, and it gets cut and cut and cut. By the way, this is just how I do things. This is probably not how a professional editor does things. This is just how I go about it and how I like to see it. Again, I'm a visual person. I like to have it all laid out, and then I like to see what I've got and what I've got to work with. Then, phase 2. Looking at the timeline and starting to get a gist of how the pace of the whole episode is going to work. And for this, I quite often go back to basics, and I'll get a pen and paper and write down all the big activities, all of the like big moments that I know are definitely gonna go in. I definitely want those bits. Effectively start constructing a beginning, middle and an end, and see how the pacing is actually going to work of the episode. Yeah, so this is where the episode starts to take its shape. And this is also where I start to bring in phase 3, which is personally the most crucial part of the whole episode. And it's a part that, for some reason, people on YouTube seem to just dismiss or even just leave it as an afterthought, which I think is insane because it is the most crucial part, really. For my music, I use a website called Epidemic Sound, and they are fantastic. It's a subscription website that I pay £10 a month to, and it's unlimited. You can use anything from their library, and they make my life so much easier. If you're a hardcore Pocket Trailblazer viewer, you'll know that in series 1 I was using a lot of just royalty-free YouTube music that so many people were using, which meant that everybody's stuff just sounded the same. But since I've been using Epidemic, it has brought my edits up to that next level. However, do not underestimate the amount of time it takes to still sift through music to get the perfect track for what you want. I still spend hours, sometimes days.
It's been 84 years.
Looking for that perfect track, or looking for the exact music that really goes with what I'm trying to do. I find a lot of YouTubers do not put that time in, and they just throw any old music on, and you can kind of tell. If there is one thing you take from watching any of my behind the scenes stuff about how I edit and how I put my series together, it would be to really put the time into finding the right music. It's 3 o'clock. I have not got much editing done because I've got completely sidetracked by doing damn visa paperwork. For those of you that don't know, my boyfriend is Australian and we are currently going through a bit of a tricky visa process which involves so much paperwork, it's unbelievable. Kind of on a deadline to get that done, so I am having to prioritise doing the visa paperwork over editing at the moment, which I don't really like doing. It's not very creative. Also, since it's 3 o'clock, before the light goes, I am definitely gonna go for a run. Oh, that reminds me, I got new shoes. I'm super excited about my new trainers. It's still that cold out that I have to have earmuffs. Whew. Boom. Let's get running.
If I was going somewhere, I was running.
Oh my god. That was a little bit harder than I thought. Well, the sun is just going down behind me. That was a kind of tougher run because I hadn't done the full circuit in quite a while because my shins have been so bad. I have to look at my phone to find out how I did. But I did the 6K circuit. Yeah, that was pretty tough. The good news is the new trainers are awesome. They are definitely good running on roads, shoes. I'm pretty impressed with them. Although, don't you hate it when you have to use new shoes for the first time? And then suddenly, they're not new anymore. Bit of editing, then time for a bath. Here we go again. This is this week's. It's about to go public. And go. I can hear my family watching my weekly vlog downstairs. It is week 3 and I am still doing well on making time to have my bath. This year, I really wanted to focus on mindfulness and really looking after myself. I feel like in this crazy world we live in, it's impossible these days to just have some downtime to yourself, you know? Half an hour in the bath, candles, nice scented bath bomb. Oh, it's just bliss. I want to try and almost get a proper nighttime routine in. I obviously don't have time to have a bath every night, but if I can just do it 1 or 2 times a week, it really helps. Which flavour are we gonna pick? Should we try peppermint? I've never used a bath bomb before, so I've got no idea what it's actually supposed to do. I thought they're just supposed to smell nice, right? Let's see what happens. Well, that was my first ever bath bomb, and it wasn't quite as dramatic as I was hoping it to be. Bit of an anticlimax there, not gonna lie. Oh well, let's get some bubbles in this bath. Keep me out to see you around. Don't know if I'm gonna. Good morning. Okay, so it's about 20 past 8. I had a pretty tough evening last night going through visa stuff with Tom. I'm gonna have a cup of tea. That makes everything better. More importantly, I'm gonna have a cup of biscuit brew tea. Actually tastes like someone has dunked a rich tea. It's too early for this. Dunked a rich tea biscuit in your tea. Don't ask me how they've done it. It's some sort of wizardry. Anyway, I'm gonna get my tea and go and do more visa stuff at my desk. I cannot wait for this process to be over. The kettle's about to boil. Today's retro mug, Lucky Charms. I might have got slightly distracted on the visa process while I'm drinking my tea. I need a backpack that I can put all my equipment in and my laptop, and they're basically designed for carrying tech around. So I'm looking at those options on Amazon because I need one for next month. I'm going somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where yet. It's a secret. So I want to get it well in advance so I've got time to test it out and make sure it's okay and that it works for me, because these things are very specific to each person, you know. So this is the one I'm looking at. It looks quite good, what I like about it, that part there, you see? So that you can easily slide the camera bit out. I've still got really chapped lips from that cold I had last week. I've been meaning for a while now to sign up to Audible because I really want to listen to some audiobooks that I don't have time to read. So do you remember what I was saying last week about if you follow someone and they have a link, it helps them out? I remember that in one of the Budgeteers episodes, they said they were sponsored by Audible. So I've just found that episode and I'm going through their link to sign up. So hopefully that'll help them out. And it obviously doesn't make any difference to me how I sign up to it. So why not help them out? You see what I mean? So there you go, Paddy, Ties and Lena. I'm doing your Audible link. I've decided that after sitting at my desk all morning, I'm really fidgety. So we're gonna do some more Marie Kondo cleaning.
Hello, I'm Maria Kondo.
Today's choice of location that I'm trying to sort out, I don't know, utility. I think the word is utility room, but it's just full of stuff.
They have so much stuff.
It's a never-ending battle to fight the clutter.
This is an example. It's exploded for a start. I mean, look at this. Does it have a date on it? Oh, there we go. There's the date, 2001. Wow. My mum was just like, well, it's this century. I'm sure it's fine. Oh my God. This household is hilarious. So I'm going to attempt to declutter this area and this area. See you when it's done. Done. Surface is clear. This is all cleaned up. Oh yeah, feeling much better now. Can actually see that there's a surface here. Wow, today has been all over the place. I've been so distracted. I'm now actually editing Iceland because I just lost enthusiasm for series 2 and I never like to just stop and just go, oh, I'm not gonna do it. I like to just change projects because that's the way I find it's the most productive. So I just switched. So I'm starting to put Iceland together. It's 7:30, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat some dinner. Tomorrow we are gonna be getting into some tech edit on Myanmar. So I'm gonna show you the next few stages of how I put an episode together. By the end of this week, you're basically gonna know how I construct a whole episode and how I put everything together and the little kind of things that I do. Oh, Min Min! Oh, she's so cute. It's snowing. I'm really hoping that when we wake up in the morning, there's gonna be snow on the ground. I love snow almost as much as I love Disney. Disney! Oh my God, I'm such a big kid. Anyway, it's about 10:30. I'm gonna go to bed. See you in the morning. It's Wednesday. And yes, this is what I look like in the morning. The snow situation outside is not quite what I'd hoped it to be. This is it. Not really much snow. Put it like this. We're not going to be building a snowman. Look at this though. It's like the blooming animals are farthing wood outside. We've got a squirrel here. There's a pheasant round the corner. Okay, where were we? You've done stage 1, pulling out all the raw footage. We've done stage 2, cutting it down a bit. Stage 3, music. So, stage 4. Now, stage 4 is pretty crucial because it's about the pace. This only really applies to if you're doing a longer sort of episode like I do, because you don't really need to think about this sort of stuff if you're only doing 6 minutes or whatever. The pace of the episode is really crucial because you can't have the whole thing going because otherwise you're just going to wear your viewers out. On the flip side of that, you also can't have it.
So just try and relax.
You need to mix it up a bit so that it keeps your audience engaged. Now this is where I'm going to throw in a secret tip. Let's call it 4.5. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Now what I mean by this is not let's just lie about what happened or make it up, etc, etc.
I can't lie!
What I mean is, say we're in a place for maybe a week and we do a few activities. The big story of that episode is that you're scared of heights and you're doing a skydive. Now, we might have done the skydive on the first day. It obviously doesn't work out very well if you then put the skydive in the first 6 minutes of the episode. So I'm obviously not lying about the fact I did a skydive, but I'm also not putting it exactly in chronological order. That's not an actual editing stage I go through, that's just a little tip.
Nice tip, thanks a lot.
Stage 5 is cut, cut, cut. I go through the whole thing and I ask myself on every single clip, is this moving the story along? Because if it isn't, that will be the point that you lose your audience. Again, this only applies if you're doing longer episodes like me. Now, that doesn't always apply because sometimes you do want to bring in bits that maybe aren't moving the story forward but are giving a character development or a bit of backstory, etc. But in general, you just want to keep cutting, cutting, cutting. And what I do is when I have cut it to within an inch of its life, I leave it for a couple of days and then I come back to it and see where I get bored. So I cut it again. Yes, it is a very lengthy process, but that's what it takes to build up a 45-minute episode, because you have to be absolutely ruthless. You have to get rid of everything. And it can be heartbreaking sometimes, because sometimes you know how much effort you put into getting that clip. But when it comes down to it, it just doesn't fit in the pace of the episode. So even though it's kind of a little bit heartbreaking, you do have to cut it. Stage 6, maps. Animating maps is not my strong point. I am not a wizard on After Effects. In fact, sometimes it takes me days just to do one map if it's a long one. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started this, I sat at my computer and cried at these maps because I just couldn't get them to do what I wanted to do, and it was just so frustrating. But I stuck with it because it is worth it. It ups the production value on your episodes so much, having maps in there and visualizing where you are and where you're going and doing all of that. I personally think it's absolutely crucial to have those maps in. And it obviously doesn't really matter how you do a map. You don't have to go out of your way to do special animated maps. Even just showing a Google map helps. Everything I have just talked about is basically phase 1, and that is what I call the story phase. Once the whole episode is put together, it has all its music, it has all the storylines, it's been cut, I have to go over it and do a technical edit on it. And the tech edit basically involves sound levels, lower thirds, subtitles, and name tags. Then once I've done all that, I do a very, very little color correction, basically only when something is really out or I've accidentally overexposed something. I don't generally do any grading on my edits because that doesn't really fit the style, because the style is real and raw. So if I suddenly made it look all beautiful and cinematic and put the letterbox bars in, etc, etc, it kind of takes away that level of reality to it. But it's not to say that I can't do it, and it's also not to say that I won't be dropping some in possibly in the Iceland video, because I do have some of my brother's footage which looks spectacular. Once I've done all that, the final stage is testing it. With these sort of things, there's definitely a tendency to have the situation of you can't see the wood for the trees. So show it to your friends, your family, and check that they understand what's going on. Check that you haven't missed out some crucial bit from the story. If someone picks up their phone whilst watching the episode, game over. You need to cut more out. Cut, cut, cut. I have totally forgotten another trick that I use, and that is voiceovers. I find they're a great way of progressing the story a little bit faster than if you're just talking to camera. It's kind of boring if you're always talking to camera and saying, I'm here doing this, I'm there doing that. It's sometimes nicer to just build in another level. I am going to go into all the cameras and technical equipment that I use next week, but right now I'm going to show you one piece of equipment that I use for when I'm editing, and that is this. My Rode podcaster microphone. I used to shoot just using my Rode mic on my camera and film like that, but the workflow process of that was so much longer because I used to have to put the card into the camera, record it, take the card out, put it onto my computer, download it off the card, put it into a folder, and then upload it to Final Cut. But with this, it plugs directly into my computer with a USB, and I can just record voiceovers straight onto the timeline. So the workflow process is so much quicker, and it sounds way more professional. This thing's like way smoother than just a microphone on a camera. If you are doing voiceovers, I massively recommend this mic. I'm obviously not sponsored or anything by Rode, but yeah, I use it all the time and I love it. This is happening. My brother thinks I need more light.
Everyone needs more light. True tungsten for better skin tones.
I don't really know what that means.
Full black body source tungsten. The sun and tungsten are the only two sources that
Oh
get
my
true,
goodness me. What's going on here?
true reddish in the skin tones. Just get it tucked out of the way.
Oh, look at that.
Weird. Come down on the height, maybe intensity slightly.
Oh, he's killing my uplighter.
We might have to move your light.
We can move the uplighter. Okay, so that's off and that's on.
Just working out what intensity. I mean, you can go subtle, I think.
A bit subtler, I think.
That's the maximum, that's too much. I think about there, which is about 50%.
There. So turn it off. Off. On.
Yeah. It's nice.
Well, that's quite nice, Henry, thank you. Now we just need to sort out this scenario in the background.
Cue Benny Hill music.
Look what's turned up. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure about this yet. It's not very outdoorsy, is it? I mean, it looks a little bit school backpacked like. Now you don't really know if something's actually going to work for you until you're kind of, you know, using it. But the reason I bought this backpack is because of this feature. You open this and you can pull out the camera part. I basically spend my entire time when I have a backpack rummaging around in there trying to pull out my camera stuff. So I thought this would make it much easier. It has a laptop compartment in there. So I have all my big camera kit, which you will learn about next week, in this part. And that means that I can just slide it out. There's a divider in here, so if I want to just chuck in my day stuff in the top, it kind of keeps it separate from this. Or you don't have to have that in there at all. It can just be, you know, a backpack. But yeah, as I said, it has a sleeve compartment in the back here to put your laptop in. More pockets here. What I find quite handy with a bag is to have lots of little compartments so that I can separate stuff out. Ooh, another pocket there. Otherwise I find myself rummaging around at the bottom because everything's fallen to the bottom. So I'm constantly losing things. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this bag. But I won't really know if it works until I've taken it basically on a day trip. I have almost finished pulling out the footage for the second Meanwhile episode, but I just realised it's 7 o'clock and it is my turn to cook. So I'm gonna have to stop. I'm cooking spag bowl, so I'm quite excited about that. I love spag bowl.
If I fall behind, would you come back around? Keep me hanging on, keep me hanging on. If
I'm gonna let you into a little secret ingredient that I put into my spag bowl. Ketchup. Just trust me, it works.
I'm alive, would you let me shine? Keep me burning on, keep me burning on.
I just missed an absolute gem of a comment from Henry. Yeah, I know we're about, what, 15 years late to this party, but we've started watching Grey's Anatomy. So I was watching it on DVD. We suddenly realised that actually it's on Amazon Prime. There's 14 series and we don't really know where we were. Henry just literally went, oh God, good morning. Oh, are we in focus? Yeah, just about. Oh, we have some crazy hair going on. It's about 7:30. I have been doing my Instagram posts. That is generally what I do every morning. I try and do a regular Instagram post. Sometimes I prep it the night before, sometimes I just wing it in the morning. It's not really that thought out, to be totally honest. I just do it as a bit of fun and for myself really, just to look back on my life in small squares really. Anyway, I'm gonna get up. I am in desperate need of a cup of tea. Bring me some biscuit brew. Welcome to the morning weather report from the British countryside. This is the situation. It's so cold. The sun is coming up. Oh, this is colder than it was at Christmas.
Why you have to be so cold, frozen like ice? It's time for me to really adore your new disguise.
Before breakfast, I need to upload the Dragon Trip Part 2, do the description, do the thumbnail, and cut a mini trailer together to go on my Instagram story, which will look like this. Welcome to my channel. My name's Charlie, and for the next month, I'm going to be traveling with my two friends, Jack and Amanda, in a massive loop around China, starting and ending in Hong Kong. There you go, there's a little teaser for you. So after saying how amazing the podcaster microphone is, it's broken. What? I can't work out what's actually happened to it. It doesn't seem to be linking through to Final Cut properly. It is registering the sound, just not actually recording anything. I hate technology. It just never seems to work for me. Does anyone else feel like this about technology? I'm doing the one thing that hopefully will fix it and normally fixes problems, which is do a full update on my whole computer. But that does involve me now waiting, which I'm not very good at. I'm very impatient. Since my computer's gonna take about half an hour to update, I decided to come and sit by the fire and have my lunch. And I was going to listen to my audiobook, but then I just saw that Tim and Finn have uploaded a new episode. They did some really cool stuff in Alaska, so I might watch that first. The reason I love Tim and Finn from the Trip series so much is because they really select their music carefully to tell the story. It's so crucial to do that and people just don't. It does.
How to Instagram by Finn. First of all, you have to always be centered with the view. Second of all, you have to wear what seems pragmatic at the time for your athletic endeavor, but you have to bring everything you need with you. What's that? Always leave your hair down. The Instagram hat. And if you're not wearing a patterned shirt, literally, who are you? There can't be anyone in the photo but you. Hide all your gear you brought with you. Find a husband who will hold the camera. It doesn't have to be a husband, it could literally be anyone. Tie your shirt tight so that the wind doesn't catch it and make you look larger than you are. If you're really looking for followers, find yourself a dog. Now the most important rule, it must be candid. Always do something with your hands. The more you do with your hands, the more candid it looks.
Another 41 minutes. Seriously? Testing, testing, please record little microphone. No. Oh my god, why is this still not working? Why are you not working? This is weird because when I talk into it, there's sound bars coming up. It just is not recording anything onto the timeline. Well, it records something, but it's just empty. Help! I've done everything. I've done updates, I've done resets, I've turned everything off and back on again. I've done like everything I can possibly think of. Oh, my brother's gone into Google and tried all the Google solutions. Why are you not working? Finally, I think we've got it fixed. A mere 4 hours later. What I didn't tell you was earlier, when I was waiting for everything to update, I learned how to knit. So I'm now knitting a scarf. Thought it'd be a handy skill to, you know, learn. Happy Friday! I am desperate to get this first Meme Mart episode out next week. It's almost there! It's almost done! I have never seen anything like this. It's cold again, so I'm hugging my hot water bottle because my hands are freezing sat at this desk editing. Oh, England! A couple of you have been asking about whether I got that job from last week, and I just got an email saying I didn't get it. Oh well. Sorry to put a downer on the end of the week. Just really doubting myself, you know. At times like this, I just really miss Tom. He's so far away and I can't even call him. It's the middle of the night, you know? So, welcome to behind the scenes of long distance relationships. They suck. Anyway, it was quite a long job, so it would have been really difficult being away from Tom for that long, so I guess it was for the best. But what was really nice is Henry came in about an hour ago and helped me set up this kind of corner. That cheered me up. So it's kind of been a positive end to the afternoon, even though it started off a bit rubbish. It's 8 o'clock now. I'm actually getting a bit hungry. I just realised I'm quite hungry. I'm gonna have some dinner, I think. I have almost finished the Meme Mart episode. I'm just gonna do a tiny bit more tidying up on it and double check the pacing one more time. My family have already watched it. Tom's already seen it. A couple of friends have seen it and they all liked it. So I think it's pretty much good to go. I'm hoping I'll be able to release it next week. So I'm hoping it'll be coming out on Friday. It might not. You'll know because I'll be splashing it all over all of my social media. I'm pretty excited about it because it's been a long time coming, this one, as you guys know. But it's a special episode and yeah. Mima, here we come. Well, this fixes everything. Good morning. It's Saturday. Today is gonna be a better day. The sun is coming up. It's so pretty out there. A little bit more multitasking for you. I'm gonna eat my breakfast whilst doing a final pacing proof run on the Meme Mart episode. It's 2:30. I am gonna get away from my computer. I've spent a lot of this week glued to my edit screen, so I need to look after myself a little bit better. I'm gonna go get some headspace, go for a walk, and listen to some more of my Audible book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. It's Sunday night. I have been editing for 12 hours today, and the weekly vlog is still not quite finished yet, but it's almost done. So I'm gonna sign this off now and eat my roast dinner. Yum! Tune in next week because we are gonna be going through loads of the equipment that I use to film my travel series. So, see you next week!